The village of Klukwan has a long history of trade and cultural exchange with the Indians of the interior Yukon area. Consequently, many of our songs are of an interior influence. However, they will perform some songs and dances originated from the tribal clan houses in Klukwan. They have several Kunana songs and a bear dance and some clang songs and dances from the Kagwantan, Kanaktedi, and the Shangokedi clans of Klukwan. Please welcome them. Thank you.
do is one that was taught to us by our elder, Grandma Annie Hotch. She's no longer with us now, but we'd like to sing this in honor of her and all our elders. We've learned a lot from all of our elders, and we'd like to sing this song in honor of our elders this afternoon. And I'd just like to invite those people who are from Klukwan, maybe haven't lived there for a long time, if they'd like to come and join us on any of these songs, they're welcome to. And get up on stage, that's fine with us. I'd just like to call on our elder Joe Hotch to come and say a few words while our dancers take a breather. Dancers and singers.
Thank you very much. Netke itiqane hatu khasiku yukshi tagotuade tashcha tatkawti qaste aya idatuna chagoda qaste shedehena ohan أقنك هؤوات يقست جان قا يا يقتونا أجايا هيد آيا خوناق يكو دستن يقونا يا آيا هذا قشسيكي descendants of dignitaries from each community, we appreciate being amongst you in the most humblest way. This is not a life that began a few years ago. This is a life that has been in existence since time immemorial. I think the other day, I believe it was Byron that said respect and a few other things that were on the program that we were supposed to be participating. And this is what we feel we are doing the entrance song, I'd like to explain what it means to us in Chilkat and what our ancestors went through when they went into the interior and came back. Many times, some of them did not make it back to Klukwan. And many times, some of them got windburned. And many times they said what to do. There's two sounds that are important in Tlingit live. The one I'm talking about, that windburn, Kasiachko Siganaya, yes, Kayakanachiko Kako, Chulnuk to the Achje, Yankanaya. Heal it before the gross hoots, otherwise it will never heal again. This is why the elders worked on it. They used snow and hooligan oil all over so that healing could begin right away. And if it wasn't healed before the grouse hooted, then it never heals forever. So these are the things that are in this song that we are taught for this incoming and outgoing song. And the important part on why they went to the interior was because of commerce. They had different ways of getting into Haduawait. They call it in Tlingit money, Haduawait. And there's a way that they called animals. If they saw wolves fighting in the wilderness, they'd get on the ground. And then they'd put their face in the ground and say, they called all the other wolves or coyotes that way. They dug that hole. And then when the other wolves came to watch the two fighting, then they got it with their bow and arrows. This is the way that they got their revenues. And this is a very important celebration. I heard maybe we shouldn't call it a celebration, but I believe I'm giving them a good rest there. I heard the myth of the Cree nation. It'll take a few minutes here. At one of the meetings down south, the myth goes that the Cree and Muskogees were lost. They were lost. There was a big pond, and in the middle of that pond was a little island. And on that island was sitting a big turtle. And the Crees and the Muskogeans came to the turtle. After circling that pond so many times, they said, "Turtle, we're lost. We're lost. What should we do?" And the turtle looked at them. The turtle said, "Your people are lost because you do not have laws." I wanted to finish the dance before I brought this up, but it means so much to me that the myth that is down there is also touching me. Our laws are in all these things that are represented here, in all yours. I respect your law. And I just believe after about 10 years, we have come back to our own laws. We have laws that are important for our survival. I heard the young boys and girls this morning say they got a grasp on the life here. It's our job to make sure that they do not lose their grip on it. And we have to tell the history of the songs that we are singing at home to all our children so that they know it's not just a song to dance to. It has a lot more meaning. And this is why the elders told their stories at night. And then they'd fall asleep. The children would fall asleep. Next morning they'd say, and that's how they pick the leaders again. They'd ask, which one knew where I stopped last night? And the one that raised his or her hand, they'd immediately start picking on that child to be a next leader. I know I have faith in all these children and all your children out there that we will survive with our laws. We were trying to use other people's laws, but now we're back into our own law, and let's use it to the fullest extent. I think they got enough rest. Thank you very much.
For those of you who don't know, maybe all of you already know this, but Klukwan is located on the Chilkat River, and it's the Chilkat Indians that live in Klukwan. And one thing that the Chilkat Indians are pretty well known for is the trade routes to the interior. And so if you think our songs are a little bit different than what you've heard in the rest of this celebration, a lot of our songs do have an interior influence because of the trade routes into the interior. The next song, however, that we're going to do is a clan song. It's the clan song of the... Yeah, it's a Ganach song. But before we do this song, I'd like to introduce the clans that are represented here today. We have the Ganach the Ravens in Klukwan. Ganach the rest of you Ganach come on out. Teresa, Timothy. We have the Shungu KD, Thunderbirds. The Sweet Girls. You girls come on out, show who you are. Thunderbirds. And we have Klukwan, Coho. And we have the Kagwan, the Eagles. The next song that we're going to do comes from the Kagwan. It's from the Hoots hit, the Bear House. It's a bear song. That's one thing that we have a lot of in the Chilkat Valley is the bears. In fact, those of us who live in Klukwan quite often see bears, and sometimes they come through the village. Last summer, I was sitting in my kitchen looking out my window, and I was watching a couple of young bears. They were across the river from my house. And some of the stories that they tell about the bear almost gives them human qualities. And I can see why now. After watching the bears last summer, there was a couple young ones. I watched them go over to a subsistence net that was set right alongside the river. There was a stake pounded into the riverbed, and the net was strung out. And I watched the bears pull the net in and pluck the fish out of the net and throw it on the bank. Pull it in a little bit farther. Got the fish out. They got all the fish out, and I was just waiting for them to throw the net back in, but they didn't. They took their fish and ran in the bushes to eat them. Then they came back to check it again after a while, but of course they couldn't get any more because they hadn't set it again. I think we're ready to do this song. Are we? take this time to recognize some of the people that have helped us with our dance group. Joe Hotch, who was the bear and who was speaking to you earlier, has been helping the boys learn some of the dance steps. Anna Katzik has taught us some songs. Agnes Bellinger, and I mentioned Annie Hotch earlier. We've used Evelyn Hotch as a consultant at times. Thank you, Evelyn. Eva Pardee has been a staunch supporter. She's come to almost all the practices that we've had. Margaret Stevens. Where are you, Margaret? I think she's been done in by this celebration. But she's also helped a lot with dance instruction, song instruction, and has been a real staunch supporter in the practices that we've had. My cohort here, Catherine Hotch. She's never missed a practice. And her sister Elsie has been a real support as well. And I really have to give a lot of credit to these kids that have come out for practice. There's been quite a few here that are real faithful in attending the practices, and some days it was real hard. Lots of sunshine outside, and the other kids would be playing ball or something. And these kids stayed in for our practices, and that takes a lot of dedication. So I think they deserve commendation for that. The next song that we're going to do, we can give them some commendations. The next song that we're going to do is another Guanana song. It's a little bit faster paced, so you guys ready? Blanket song will feature the Chilkat blanket dancers. And I'll ask all the rest of the boys to stand to one side of the platform here so that we can feature the blanket dancers on this song. While we're getting ready for this song, when I called out the clans, I didn't recognize my new adopted sister. And I'd just like to do that now. Cheryl Samuel, we adopted her into the Klukwan clan last September, and her Klingit name is Santats. She's either my great-grandmother or my sister, whichever way you want to look at it. And I'd also like to recognize Mechtold Carolsford for this robe that I'm wearing. It's a raven's tail robe. And it's generously on loan. It's not my own, but I'd just like to thank her for letting me use it tonight, or this afternoon. And also, Joshua, would you come over here, and I'd like to show off this apron that he has. It's really supposed to be leggings, but we had a lady come stay with us last winter from Norway. She was an art student who wanted to learn some art form of the Northwest Coast Indian tribes, and she came to Klukwan and worked with us on a weaving project that we have going in the village. And she surprised us by sending us this gift, these leggings. There's two of them, but Josh is a little bit too small to wear them as leggings. They're kind of too big for him, so he's wearing it as an apron today, and we just wanted to acknowledge. Her name is Hilda. How do you say her last name, Cheryl? Agabrun. Hilda Agabrun. And I'd just like to show off those, that it was a gift, and I think that we should always acknowledge gifts. Thank you, Hilda. We're going to repeat one of our earlier songs, and I'd just like to again offer the invitation for anybody who wants to join us. Whether you're from Klukwan or not, you can come and join us on this song. Hey, hey. It's an invitational. We have a drummer in training here. He's Klukwan, Jacob Hotch. He's the son of Edward Hotch, who's Shunkuketi, and Janice Hotch, who's Klukwan. Jacob Hotch. I think he's 3 years old. 2 2? 2.5. Last year, before we came to 92, before we came to the 92 celebration, we had a fundraising dinner for our dancers. And as part of the fundraising dinner, we put on a little practice performance. And we did all our songs that we were going to do. And then we were going to exit, but we really hadn't learned an exit song, so we were just going to use one of our entrance songs. And so we decided that's what we would do. And we sang the song, but nobody moved. And I did all I could as I was drumming to try to get them moving, and nobody moved. Nobody would look at me. And so we finished the song, and we were all still standing up there. And my nephew looked at me and he said, "Hey, we forgot to go." So when my brother was up here, he taught us the Hoona exit song, Jack Strong, and we adapted it a little bit with the help of our Grandma Annie Hotch. And so we sing the words, day away, gook day. That means, that's enough, go now. So that will be our exit song today. The girls. We'll exit from the back row.